Hello everybody, GrimmChorizo here, joined here with Chris.
Hello.
And tonight we are going to be discussing Wrestlemania 35, which is coming up this Sunday.
That's right.
And we're going to be giving our predictions for the 16 matches. There are 16 matches, which is just insane.
They took the Mania part a little too.
Yeah.
Like, this is probably, would you say this is the most matches on any WrestleMania?
That I know of,
Okay.
This is the most matches, because I thought the past 2 or whatever years had close to this, 13 or so, but this is 16, which is just crazy.
It does seem a little excessive, and it's kind of hard, because I get upset when I see, they're putting all these people in this stupid battle royal. But when you have that many matches, it's going to be like an 8-hour, 7-hour affair. I mean, that is insane.
It's going to be a long show, but hopefully, if it's a good show, then, we can deal with
it has all the makings of like a super legendary card. So
yeah, the card is really good. So let's just go ahead and get into it with the pre-show.
Break it down.
So we've got the Women's Battle Royal. This is the second annual WrestleMania Women's Battle Royal, which is basically just everyone who's not in the women's tag scene and the main event is, I guess, thrown into this match.
Right. This is kind of like where the unfortunate, you gotta get as many people on the card as you can, and it really sucks to see people like, for example, Asuka, who just
big time.
I mean, that she obviously deserved to hold her title through Mania and have a match for that title. It just makes that title.
Yeah, I mean, and I'll say more on that when we get to the main event about the Smackdown Women's title. But yeah, the fact that Asuka is in this and not an actual bigger match is just disappointing.
That being said, in my opinion, how can Asuka not win this match? If she does not win this match, then it's kind of like you're basically telling Asuka to go fuck herself, because I mean,
it's like you hear, we're gonna take your title, you're gonna be in this pointless match, and you're gonna lose.
It's like they literally felt if they had a compelling story for SmackDown women, that it would somehow detract from the triple threat, and it literally does not at all.
No, not at all.
Because I felt while watching SmackDown for a while, I was like, Asuka's not even on the show right now. She's not even doing anything. And then on top of that, on top of not doing anything, also, they had no story for her. I think the story they were starting was maybe Mandy and Sonya were going to come for her.
That was it, yeah.
But then they started being like, well, now they have problems with each other. And so I was like, what is this leading to? And it was leading to Asuka.
Like it was maybe building to a triple threat or something.
That would have been fucking sick.
They just didn't do it.
Because I love Mandy, I love Sonya, and I love Asuka. I think they're all
that could have been a really good match, but now they're all in the Battle Royal.
I could honestly see Mandy or Sonya winning it, though, too.
Yeah,
those are my three.
Okay.
Asuka, for sure, needs to win it. I think she should win it, and is I'm 99% sure she'll win.
I'd say Asuka, obviously, but she hasn't been announced, but I could see Lacey Evans.
Oh, fuck.
Here's what I could see happening.
You
she hasn't done anything except
that's going to be what it is.
So what could happen is they're doing the Battle Royal, and then her music hits during the Battle Royal. She comes out and appears like she's just going to do her
I'm
walk,
joining
but
this
she ends
thing.
up getting in and eliminates and wins. And honestly, I don't really like Lacey Evans, but it'd be a way to debut her in an actual match. So I'm going Asuka or Lacey Evans.
And then they'll do Asuka versus Lacey Evans, because...
Over what, though? Because
she's pissed because... Yeah. But that's how they book things, though. You just totally cracked it.
So I would say Lacey.
We are so sorry,
Asuka.
because...
Those are my guesses.
Well, you just ruined it, because that is what will happen now. I guarantee that's going to happen, so... God damn it. Psychic bullshit.
All right, then the other Battle Royal, the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal, which this is the 6th annual. So this is the 6th one.
Just to speak on the match itself, okay? So, let's run down some past winners. Cesaro was the first.
And that was a great Battle Royal, to be honest.
That was fucking awesome.
I think that's the best Battle Royal I've ever seen. A great match, a great winner, and had a lot of promise going into it.
Right, so how to squander... Basically, that's a how-to on how to ruin something that could have become really cool, everyone going... So we had Cesaro, so that was obviously his booking after that was a shit show, but an amazing moment. Really
one
awesome.
of the best moments of
I know,
already amazing
didn't Big Show win it one time?
The next year was Big Show, which
Right.
The Andre the Memorial Battle Royal was moved to the pre-show that year, which is already a bad sign for the prestige of it. And yeah, not to go too much into it, but yeah, it came down to like Ms. Dow, who was super over, and Big Show, and Big Show won, which it was kind of a shame.
I forgot about that.
Yeah, but it was kind of just to establish, hey, a big guy can actually win a Battle Royal, and
which is cool because like Andre was a big dude.
So yeah, it was whatever, that's fine. Yeah. Then it was Baron Corbin. Honestly, out of all the winners, he's probably done the best for himself.
Which is insane.
He won Money in the Bank, won the U.S. title, was GM of Raw. So I would say he's probably done the best after winning the Battle Royal.
And if you asked me who, he'd be like my least likely for that to be the case.
Yeah, but when you look at, the next year, Mojo Rawley was the worst. I mean, right? I mean, he didn't do anything.
He kind of just disappeared after that. He went, did he get injured?
I don't know.
My thing with this match is it's okay for it to be on the pre-show. It is a battle royal where you just throw people into it.
Yeah, it should be on
the
that
being said, that doesn't mean you don't try.
Yeah,
exactly.
And for the record, and then last year was Matt Hardy winning, which didn't really lead to
once
anything
again
other than
led
him
to
winning
nothing.
the tag titles. There was a cool moment with Bray.
They were both off TV,
yeah.
not what I mean, for most of the time.
So it's kind of a
bummer.
But, so it's but for this year, the only story going into it is Braun Strowman and Michael Che and Colin Jost from Saturday Night Live. That's the only story going into this. That's it.
Yeah, because but here's the thing, a bunch of people with stories got thrown into it though.
Yeah, and there are some bigger names.
Andrade and Ray have been having this amazing thing, and now they should have been involved both together in the US title.
Yeah, they should have.
Which we'll get to. But I'm just saying, Andrade, he, for me, is someone who I could see winning this thing. Because he is a big deal. And another one is Ali. Ali had a big story. He was gonna, in my opinion, I think it was everyone accepted that he was going to face Bryan at Mania. Yeah, they were building before getting injured. So him being in this match is a massive bummer for him. I can imagine.
So basically, what you were saying, I agree. I guess if I... gun to my head, if I had to pick one prediction, I would say Braun Strowman. I mean, because he's the only guy who really has...
And he has not won this match before.
No, he did win the greatest Royal Rumble, but he has not won the Andre Battle
he's
Royal.
A big guy. So I think you might be right. One, just because he's a large man. He's a giant. So that goes with the whole theme. He's never won it before. And he's the only one with the story, like you said.
But there's also the possibility of
the comedy.
Maybe the SNL guys somehow eliminate him, and that's just the story there, and then someone else gets a win, like an Andrade or Ali, because those are my other two. I would say one of those three is winning it, right?
I agree. My reasoning why I don't think Braun would win is because of the SNL. This is the scenario I see in my head is he throws them out, but then they start pissing him off. Yeah. And he just gets out of the ring.
Yeah.
But not without thinking of it. He just leaves.
And that's kind of a way he can get eliminated and someone else can still win. So I can see that happening too. But I'd say if I had to pick one, I'd just go with the safe bet of Braun Strowman.
It's honestly probably I was going to say Ali, Andrade, or Braun. Probably.
Yeah, that's exactly what I thought too.
It's too obvious, and so naturally they'll do who else is in this? It's so weird.
The year Mojo won it, I mean... I wouldn't have guessed Mojo, so who knows? They could have Heath Slater win it. You never know.
Yeah.
And then the Cruiserweight Championship, Buddy Murphy defending against Tony Nese. To be honest, I don't have too much to say about this because I haven't watched 205 Live since last year's WrestleMania. They did a tournament going into, leading the Cedric versus Mustafa Ali. And, the matches were really good, but I just haven't been watching. So I don't know the story here. I know Buddy Murphy's been the champ. I know he's incredible. I know Tony Nese is really good. So I guess Nese, it was kind of his protege or something, I think, or worked with him or something, and now he's going to face Buddy Murphy. I think that's the story there.
Because that's the problem.
But I don't know. I could be completely wrong.
That's the thing is I can't really comment on who I think should win because I really don't know the story.
Yeah.
That being said, like you mentioned, the Cruiserweight division, I don't follow it either. You don't. And the reason I don't really is because every time I've watched, it's basically just good matches in a vacuum.
Yeah.
There isn't really...
Yeah, that's true.
The characters, for me, I don't really feel... they were kind of doing good character work when they had Enzo and then they fired him, and then I guess Triple H kind of took over the roster and it kind of turned into like a almost like sport-like format.
Yeah, really good matches.
But for me, without some sort of thing like tying it together, I don't know. I just don't really feel like I can really get into it. I feel like off the top of my head, I guess I'd say Buddy Murphy will retain because I don't think Tony Nese is. But if the story is that this is a huge payoff for Tony, and he's a face now, and Buddy's a heel,
and that's just what I was assuming because I assume it's a face versus heel, and so I'm assuming Tony Nese is face.
Right.
So yeah, this is one of those that's kind of hard to predict because, like I said, I don't know the build or the story. Murphy's held it since October, so I'm gonna predict Tony Nese just because Murphy's held it for a while, and WrestleMania is the biggest place of any to change a title. So
right, yeah, just like a moment, like a big like.
I guess. I mean, I don't know. So I'll go Tony Nese. Raw Tag Team titles. This match was just added today as we are recording these predictions.
Right.
So like hours before we started. So
and it's like it just shows. It really just shows how weak the fucking Raw tag division is because. There's fucking it's got Zack Ryder and Kurt Hawkins in it.
Well, okay, here's the thing about that. They reunited feels like 2 months
I know the story.
But... but if they had done something right then and there and built this story up until to now, from then,
right,
this could have been a pretty hyped match. You know,
yeah,
but basically they reunited, and I assumed, okay, this is building the Mania. Then they didn't do anything with it until apparently. On social media, they were just like, hey, we want a match. And the Revival was like, okay. It's like, why couldn't you done that on Raw? Like, had a backstage segment or something or anything. But
it is amazing how much
the Revival
good stuff,
defending against Kurt Hawkins and Zack Ryder, which, I mean, it could be a good match, but there's no build.
The Revival are one of the best heel tag teams they have and have had. And once again, it's just it's a thing where it's like how to squander opportunity because it's awesome they actually have a match now.
Yeah,
but I don't like maybe it's because I started watching at WrestleMania 30. That was like my indoctrination, if you will, into WWE and wrestling and stuff for the most part. And I just don't give a fuck about Zack Ryder. I get that he was huge and over. He's like the guy who like nowadays, when someone gets really over, they push them. Usually, they concede. You know, like Becky, Bryan. Finally, they get. It was like Bryan was the turning point, right? And then everyone, and now Kofi and all this stuff. But like Ryder, they fucking murdered him.
Yeah,
like they so
it was like you got over on your own.
And I get that. No. So I get that's why people like him, is what I'm saying.
Well, to be honest, I was watching before that, and I just never was a big Zack Ryder guy. I did like Kurt Hawkins, but he was just usually always a jobber. Right. Zack Ryder was a jobber, but a little more.
Right.
Ryder, I like him. I think he's good and, likable, but he's not anywhere near my favorites.
I was happy when he won the IC title, and I think what they're going to do is that for Kurt, who's been on a losing streak. Yeah,
because he's on a 200-plus losing streak.
So him getting the pin at Mania is like a good ending to that story, so they can move on from that. I think that's what's going to happen. That's my prediction, is that they will beat the Revival, which is fucking crazy.
Yeah, well, it's one of those things. Why did they add it if they weren't going to do that,
Heat. Maybe. Yeah. Like, make the Revival even more hateable. But that's the thing, is I just don't feel anyone gives a fuck about the Revival. They aren't really hateable. They're just dudes. They're two guys who are good wrestlers, and that's that.
Yeah.
They used to be more hateable in the past, like in NXT, I feel like.
Yeah, they're not really given too much of a chance to be hateable.
Yeah, they don't have...
But...
Exactly.
Yeah, so yeah, I'd go Hawkins and Ryder just because why else would they put it on other than this moment to break his
obvious.
Streak?
It's too obvious to not do.
Yeah. And then the Smackdown Tag Team titles, a fatal four-way match. We got the Usos defending against The Bar.
Awesome.
Rusev and Shinsuke Nakamura. And Aleister Black and Ricochet, which I have to say on that.
Which is awesome, yeah. I like that.
Black and Ricochet are two of my favorites.
Yeah.
I think they're great as a tag team. But there's actually... It's almost like a problem, the fact that they are involved in... It's cool, don't get me wrong. They're involved. This week, they will have competed for the Raw Tag Team titles on Raw, the NXT Tag Team titles, which at NXT TakeOver, and the SmackDown Tag Team titles, which is very cool and a very big accomplishment.
Yeah.
But they technically aren't even on a brand. And it seems odd that they're in this spot when, say, the Hardy Boys or something could have been.
Right.
Either way, they're gonna be great in this match.
It's almost like it's kind of like it's a bad thing to be annoyed that they're actually using new people the way they should be, but the fact that they're almost like they need to have an identity associated with a brand. So like if they're going to
I'd rather them either be going for the Raw,
because typically
or the
we would be
SmackDown.
upset, why are they not putting the current generation full-timers in. This is the first WrestleMania in a long time. It feels like the full-time current people are in the spotlight.
Yeah, right.
And the next generation is in the spotlight with Alistair and Ricochet. So it's really cool. But yeah, like the fact that the Hardys aren't in this match is insane.
Yeah, it's just very strange.
They just reunited too.
Yeah,
they literally just
the Battle Royal.
That's what I'm saying. Like, and wouldn't it be sick to see like fucking the Hardys going at it with arguably the best tag team.
Yeah, the Usos.
The Usos. The Bar, I've seen so much of them, but they're like the good heel base. And then get fucking Nakamura and Rusev out of it. Like, I don't care about them being in this match at all. And they don't.
Which is sad.
And the story does not make any fucking sense. They hated each other, and then they just started teaming.
1 week they were just like, Rusev was like, I'm a heel now, and Nakamura's like, I'm a heel too.
Sorry, I broke your wife's leg or whatever. It was just fucking insane. Yeah. So they have no place in this, but I know they did it just for heel balance.
Yeah.
But make one of the teams act more heelish. Like, make the Usos go heel because they're the champions. And so the Usos...
Or, God forbid, put Sanity in it or something.
Sanity's, they're ascensioned.
Yeah.
I'm sorry to say, they are ascensioned. Like, they are done.
Yeah, you're right.
They don't even put Nikki with them because I think they see something in Nikki Cross.
Yeah, they're like, let's not ruin her. But yeah.
Oh my God, it's so sad to talk about. But I would say my prediction is it's got to be, I want to say it's Alistair and Ricochet winning to put them over huge, like, and start them. And then maybe they stay on a brand. It's like their way of...
Yeah.
But the problem, and it would happen after TakeOver.
Yeah.
So that means it'd be complicated, I guess, to, like, book ahead of time, but it's just one of those things where it's like, what do you think? Because
I think the Usos are going to retain.
I would be totally fine with that,
just to kind of put them over big time as
they are the best. Because the Bar and what do you want, Nakarusa, they cannot win.
Yeah, my other main reason is because I see a lot of title changes, or my predictions are a lot of title changes. Some are going to have to retain, and I think this is a safe bet to kind of do it. And Ricochet and Aleister Black, they don't have to take the pin here.
Exactly.
They can still look amazing, and, you know, I honestly love them as a tag team, but I wouldn't mind from here, you know, they'd be like, you know what? Let's go our own ways.
And if they did win the titles, it's that same played out trope of they got to split and fight, you know what I mean? Like the breakup angle is just lame.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think the Usos should retain.
Yeah, so I agree with you. I go Usos, you go Usos.
I think so. I like the idea of Ricochet and Black winning though. I think that would be cool.
Yeah. And the last of our tag team titles, the women's tag team titles. Thankfully they're, you know, actually going to be on the Mania card.
Yeah, I'd argue that these titles are actually slightly more prestigious than some of the other ones just because they've been getting TV time.
Yeah, and it's been entertaining. You know, we've got So we've got Sasha and Bayley, the Boss and Hug Connection, which I have to say is like the worst tag team name ever.
It's like it just doesn't work if it doesn't rhyme. That's the whole thing is that it has to rhyme, and then it's okay.
Yeah, and they are against Nia Jax and Tamina, Beth Phoenix and Natalya, who formerly the Divas of Doom. I don't know if they're still actually going by that or not.
It's like I think they're kind of on the fence whether to brand them as
we're
a
not divas, but that's our name.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then the Iconics. So another fatal four-way for the tag team titles. I can see two teams winning, really.
Me too, but I'm curious what yours are.
So I'm going to say Bayley and Sasha retain. Kind of similar like what I was saying about the Usos. It's just, I feel like some people have to retain.
Right.
And like I said, I see a lot of title changes, so this is another one. Beth and Natalya, I think Beth Phoenix looked amazing on Raw. Like, oh yeah, like she hadn't missed a step.
No, she's like impressive as hell. Like I want her to stick around and like do single stuff and win a fucking title because she is like fucking awesome.
Yeah,
like,
but with that said, I just don't see her and Natalya winning the title.
They're the veterans.
You know, they're there to put them over.
They're like the Hardys that should be in the other. You know, the other match. You know, like kind of like an older team.
And then Nia and Tamina, I just really hope they don't win. I don't think they're going to.
I now that, like, before I was like, they won't win, but the more I think about it, I'm thinking, like, that's just what they would do, you know? Like, but I'm thinking they won't win, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then if Bayley and Sasha don't win, I think the Iconics could, just steal a moment or something. Like, they obviously would,
and it would make
steal
them.
a pin, like maybe Beth Phoenix does a glam slam to, Sasha Banks, and then
they scurry in,
go in and steal the pin or something like that.
Yeah.
That's how I could see it happening, or Bayley and Sasha retaining. Those are mine.
That was literally mine as well, because I was thinking I think Bayley and Sasha retain so that they can have this lengthy, prestigious first run and really establish what be a big part of what, because they basically brought the titles to WWE.
Yeah, it's like their thing,
right? So them and they haven't really gotten to go between the brand, like they have.
No. Yeah, you're right. That's a good point.
But if they drop the titles to say the Iconics, which I would be okay with, or Nia and Tamina, which I would not be okay with.
Agreed.
Now those titles are not going to be involved in NXT because they will not send those teams down to NXT.
Do you think Nia Jax and Tamina are going to willingly, in kayfabe even, be like, we're going to go down to NXT and fight these teams?
But Bayley and Sasha, they're like all about it. Like
they're all about the competition and the prestige of the title. So that's a good point. I hadn't thought about that as another more reason as to why they would retain.
That is why I personally think Bayley, Sasha retain and will take that, and they're going to take on like Kyrie and
Sky Pirates
and
or something,
Eos. And
because they've got to do something with NXT to really establish, hey, these are 3 brands.
I honestly see them taking it off of Sasha and Bayley because they are super prestigious themselves, and now you have this title. You're building a lineage that is not the Universal title, or you know what I mean? It's like it means something. I think they're being careful with it because if you're going to have it, you should actually put effort into it, and having them retain, I think, is a good first step. So.
Agreed. United States title. This one's up in the air right now.
Yeah,
Rey Mysterio taking on Samoa Joe.
It's kind of in a weird spot.
Yeah, as of right now, it's not been canceled. It's not been said it's for sure on, but Rey
or that they're replacing Rey.
Or that. Exactly. Yeah. So as of right now, it's on. So we will predict as so. This is another one that I could see going either way. Rey, to my knowledge, the U.S. title, other than the Universal title and like the Smackdown tag team titles. Are the only titles currently, and the Cruiserweight title, I guess. So maybe I don't have a point here. But basically, I'm trying to say, of the main titles, the U.S. title Rey hasn't held yet.
Okay.
So I feel like him winning it at WrestleMania, they were saying his son would be in the front row. I think he'll be involved. I honestly think Rey will win the title. It gives him the title he hasn't held yet, or one of the titles he hasn't held yet. It's on a big stage. And maybe Joe, has an altercation with Dominic, who maybe punches him or does something. I don't know if that's even going to be part of the story. But from that backstage thing, it kind of seemed like they were going to include the Dominic thing in here. So I guess I would say Rey wins the title.
Yeah. So here's the thing. I see a lot of that happening. To counterpoint, think having Joe win would be. I don't necessarily have a strong prediction for this one, but I think Joe should win.
I think he should. Yeah.
Because he's fucking Samoa Joe and. It's cool. It'd be cool for Rey to win. But if we look at and I don't want to jump ahead, but if we look at this whole card, it's a very like winning. It's a lot of stories of faces chasing something and they need to win. So I feel like giving Rey this win would be a happy moment, but we need to have some like monster.
Yeah, you're right.
Heel win, and Samoa Joe loses a fucking lot throughout. Not right now,
really does.
But over the. Over the
and even as NXT
past.
champion, he didn't have that long of a reign.
Right,
it felt like he was dominant, but it kind of felt like a short thing. So it'd be kind of nice to give him a decent U.S. title run
for sure. And I think that's the thing is he can make the U.S. title mean something, and Rey can put him over because he's a legend himself.
And that makes
Dominic
more sense,
could get involved with Joe still because he's choking out his dad. You know what I mean? He could like refuse to like be killing him, and like you could still have Dominic involved because I think the idea here is to like get Dominic in people's mind. I guess like he's a wrestler now, so who knows? Maybe in a year or two he'll like just show up or something. But like that would be fine. But I think Joe should win. I think he might win based on the fact that they need to have heels win to balance out some of the big face things. Otherwise, it's just going to be happy moment, happy moment, happy moment, happy moment. And we know WWE does not work like that. Yeah, they love to just shit on your dreams. Yeah. Right. So I think Joe will win. It's like 50-50 for me. Okay. So I can't like go hard on either one. Yeah. But I think he should win.
Yeah. Intercontinental title, Bobby Lashley defending against Finn Balor, who on Raw basically revealed he will be the Demon, which I think they could have saved that.
Stupid.
You know, that could have been a moment.
Can we just point out the Demon is on the main roster is the weirdest thing because they haven't explained anything. Finn only uses it when he's like annoyed. It's not like to win anything.
Yeah, or else he would have used it against Brock fucking Lesnar.
Yeah, so the headcanon is Finn only uses it when he wants to prove he can win things and win accolades, and he only uses the Demon when he wants to like send a message. That's the headcanon.
Yeah.
Moving on though, who do you think?
Finn. I mean,
yeah,
if he weren't the Demon, maybe I think
that's the problem.
Honestly, I still would have predicted Finn, but
that's how they book it though.
I think the Demon will lose sometime. But it's not going to beat a Bobby Lashley at WrestleMania in a match that I think it's going to be.
This is the first Demon at Mania. Going to be.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah,
they got to have that big entrance. That's why they're doing this. And
there's no question.
I think it's going to be maybe not a complete squash, but I don't think this is going to be a long match. With as many matches as they're on here, it's a good thing to note that at least maybe 2 of them are probably going to be a little on the shorter end, and I think this is one of those.
This is going to be a short squash.
The other one that I think, going back to it, if they're going to have a quick squash, I think it'd be the Raw tag titles. Hawkins and Ryder win the titles in like 10 seconds.
But like an upset, like a roll up or something. Yeah. Or you kick, or like the ref doesn't notice some bullshit thing and then like, you just pin him. Because we got to have some quick, like just moments.
Yeah, with the 16 match card, plus other stuff, Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I could see this one being a quick one, and I think Balor...
Quick minus the entrance.
Yeah, the entrance will be longer than the match.
So the match will be like, let's say a minute long. And like just Balor, drop kick, like do some sling blades, fucking coup de grace, and it's done. Like
I think that's how it'll go. All right, a match here that I'm actually really excited for. Yeah. Randy Orton versus AJ Styles. Some people have been saying that I've heard, because I just listened in the different podcasts or whatever, said that this doesn't have that great a build, where honestly I think it has a really good build.
The promo's a bit, I mean, it's been recent though.
Yeah.
But what they've done in the past few weeks has been actually really compelling.
Yeah, it's got me hyped for the match, and I mean, when Orton...
It's just 2 dudes who are like, they're like, I'm better than you.
Exactly.
That's wrestling. Like, that's how wrestling at its core should be. It doesn't need
too much more than that.
Right.
And when Orton is fired up and like is actually interested
fucking awesome.
and motivated, he can really be good. And AJ Styles is obviously
as a character. I'm not super into his wrestling. Like, as far like obviously,
with
I think
the right partner, they can have a really good match.
I almost feel like
I think this is going to be really good.
I think it will be too, because I think Styles, he has kind of been screwed over. Not really because he was the champ for like ever, but I mean, as far as like booking goes, with like his Nakamura feud was just so unclimactic. All of his feuds, they always feel like they're just not. He's just not really getting to break loose. His wrestling style. If you compare him when he first came into now, it's like he's so much less exciting. Yeah. And that's the problem with Randy. I call him Randy. That's the problem with Orton. Randy's just too goofy. He is like, he can be amazing, but he's just not gonna. He's not gonna give a shit most of the time.
Yeah.
But when in this case, I think they're both gonna be like so fired up by this, this feud actually working well, that they'll put in like an amazing match. And their moveset, I think they complement each other perfectly. You know, because you've got, like, obviously we just saw the counter we all have been waiting for.
They did it
they almost
on SmackDown. I think they did it so that it can one, be AJ, because we're talking about the phenomenal forearm into an RKO. They did it on SmackDown, and he hit it. So I think at WrestleMania, either he's going to he's gonna go and he saw it coming, or he'll kick out of it.
Exactly. Yeah, I think I was actually surprised they did it on SmackDown, because I felt like that would be this amazing moment, like the going to curb stomp into the RKO.
But that's the only, like I said, the only reason I think they would have done it is. To do one of those things, either kick out or like, I saw it coming that time. But
it's like a tease, it's like a preview.
Which could have been a smart move there. But
for sure.
I think the match will be good. But who do you think is going to win it?
This is one of those where like a lot of these matches, I'm like, it could go either way. I personally think Styles will be Orton.
Okay, I think Orton will win.
Okay.
But it could go either way.
I just am seeing it as they're both old guys. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no one really needs this win. That's why it's kind of...
If I had to argue, though, I think Styles has lost a lot.
Styles needs it more.
They need to heat him back up.
It's not one guaranteed, like, if this person loses, they're screwed, you know?
No, not at all.
But
it's not like it's not an emergency or anything that Styles win, in my opinion. I just think he should win, and I'd like to think that he will win.
I would rather AJ win,
Yeah.
but I think Orton will win to kind of have another heel victory.
That's true,
you know, and maybe carry this feud on to the next time. I don't think
That's true.
I don't think AJ's gonna, or that Orton's gonna win clean. I think maybe an eye rake, a low blow, or something the ref doesn't catch, then an RKO or something like that.
It'll definitely be an abrupt ending. But I keep forgetting. I guess I am thinking about all of these as like this is the final moment of all these feuds. But we all know they carry on like half of them. So that being said, yeah, Orton could win this, and then Styles 50-50s it at the next pay-per-view.
Yeah,
so
that's kind of what I'm thinking.
Right.
Next up, a Falls Count Anywhere match between the best in the world, Shane McMahon, and The Miz. So, to be completely honest, I don't care that much about this story. Mainly because I don't care about Shane. I think face Miz is actually
either of them. He's entertaining.
It works.
Yeah.
But I would rather just see Miz in a different match and Shane not even wrestling on the card.
It's kind of a tough thing because, like, The Miz, we all, like, if you had asked me, I would have said Miz versus Daniel Bryan in the undercard, Miz as a heel, Daniel Bryan as a face. And now look where we are.
You couldn't have predicted that.
Right. So it's kind of hard because Miz is amazing at what he does, and he's organically over as a face.
Yeah.
So putting, like, I get, everything makes sense, right? This is another one where Miz should, like, is the face, and it's another one, like I've said, there's all these matches where the face is going for something and needs to win here to make the story complete, right?
Yeah.
So this is a case where I think, I was saying this would be one where it maybe fails. Possibly. But I could also see Shane, like, jumping off of some shit. It's Falls Count anyway. So I could
definitely jumping off something.
So this is my prediction, is that it's kind of a cop-out, but I think Shane jumps off something to hit The Miz, right? And so it's either he fails and then The Miz gets a pin because he killed himself. Or The Miz Shane falls on The Miz and is, like, on top of him and beats him like that.
Yeah.
I think that might be how it goes. Because that way,
like,
Miz,
he doesn't actually cover him, he just kind of, from his...
Like, they got that, like, let's say they have one of those breakable platforms at the bottom of the stage or something. Like, let's say he jumps off the stage. That's the most likely thing.
Yeah.
I think, you have, like, the Mania stage with, like, all the cool rigging and lights and stuff. Maybe he climbs, like, 50 feet up or 60 feet up, like, really dangerously high. Like, but they have, like, a giant crash pad with, like, the breakable shit on it, and he jumps down and, like, destroy. Like, he obviously can't jump on someone from that height.
Yeah.
But I'm saying, like, they could try and do something. It's got to be him doing that, and then probably The Miz rolling on top of him and pinning him.
Yeah, I think, because Shane will do his big jump.
Right. And
Miz will move.
Right.
So that Shane literally doesn't die and Miz doesn't
My thing
die,
is, logically,
and then Miz pins
why would Shane do that? It's just because he's Shane.
That's true. Now he is a heel, so maybe he'll tease the jump and not do it or something, because now he is a heel.
This is my problem. These matches, there are so many ways you can do things.
Yeah.
And it's really hard to predict. I think The Miz will win.
I agree.
But I just don't think... I think this is one of those that Shane could win, and it wouldn't be a big deal because they could just carry it on.
Yeah.
But it's just one of those things where if Miz loses, then he's like he's literally just like he's fighting for the honor of his dad. Or whatever.
That's why I hope Miz wins, the feud's over, and Miz moves on to something else.
And Shane goes away because he usually does that anyway. So just get on with it.
All right, next up is Kurt Angle's farewell match against Baron Corbin.
Trombone sound.
Yeah. So
here's the problem with this. Kurt Angle would want to have some semblance of, like, catharsis with the ending of his career.
He was given the choice to pick someone.
Right.
You know what? You'd think he would just get the match with Baron Corbin over with on Raw and then be like, all right, now I'm going to go with, I think an actual opponent.
Right. I think in their head they're thinking, like, well, they kind of hate each other and they had this rivalry, so obviously it's Baron Corbin. But here's the thing is, like, I personally think Angle would want to lose his final match. Hence why I think Corbin would win this. And that is fucking crazy that all of Kurt is giving his final rub. That shows that the WWE sees something huge in Corbin that I don't think... I love Baron Corbin in a weird way. Like, I think he's a great character.
I like him too.
But I don't
Not enough to be.
That's
Kurt
what like
Angle's
Drew
last
McIntyre
match.
should be doing. Like,
yeah, that
he's
would be
the
better.
guy.
Yeah.
Like Baron is like a goofy. He's almost like a. I don't know if there's a parallel for him. Like he's not intimidating. Like he wasn't really even intimidating when he was the lone wolf character.
No, I thought he was just.
He's just a dick. He's smart.
Yeah, a dick who had some cool moves.
Yeah.
But yeah, I also think Corbin's gonna win because this one I've gone several ways. Like
if they don't change anything.
Yeah, that's what I was also gonna say. Is
I have a scenario
where Corbin, maybe loses really fast, and then another opponent comes out,
or Kurt gets on the mic and is like, "Well, that was anticlimactic. Let's
something
do
like
that again,
yeah.
and let's do an open challenge."
So I'd say if it's an actual match, Corbin wins.
I personally think Corbin will win if it's as advertised.
Yeah.
But I personally would like, and I think we talked about this a bit, I think it'd be cool because, like, Cena is not on the card advertised, but he's apparently going to do something.
Yeah.
Wouldn't it be fucking cool if he, like, knocked out Corbin backstage before the match and, like, went out as a surprise to face Angle?
That would be amazing.
And now it's like a full circle thing for Cena where he came out and he could be like, well, I guess I still had some ruthless aggression.
Yeah.
I took out Corbin because I wasn't going to let him be your final match.
That would be awesome.
The problem there is that I think, like, Cena will win and it doesn't really do anything, I guess, like, because Angle wouldn't beat Cena, obviously, for a feel-good moment.
Yeah, that's one thing. But it'd be a lot. I would like that a lot more. Well, while we're talking about Cena, I think...
Yeah, because he's not in a match.
He's going to be there. I mean, he's John Cena.
He's going to do something.
I think that he'll interrupt Elias's musical segment.
You're right. And rap him.
My God, yes.
He'll rap and he'll sing.
Yeah,
and it'll be
I think that's what's going to happen.
That's what's going to happen.
But another person that we know is going to be there because it's WrestleMania is The Undertaker. He's going to be there, right? I don't think he's going to have a match, but I think after...
Well, couldn't the bell hit during Elias, too? Like, that could happen, too.
Yeah, Undertaker...
But the rap thing just works so well.
I think maybe after Angle loses, Undertaker might come out and, like, tip his hat or something. That way he's there. Okay.
That'd be so weird.
Like a little show of...
Angle.
Little show of respect, like...
Yeah, but...
he's going to do something...
I find that, that is plausible because they've done stuff like that before where the legends interact, but to me that just sounds so awkward.
It does. Or he'll do the thing with Elias. It's either Cena or Taker interrupts Elias for sure.
Or what if Taker, who else isn't on the thing? There really isn't anybody else who's not like Kevin Owens isn't going to be doing anything. Yeah, Taker, it's kind of hard to say.
Because I feel like both of those guys are doing something. So, or maybe they'll both interact with Elias. I don't know.
It's just crazy that Taker now is at the point in his career where he is like Ron Simmons just saying, damn. It's like, damn. Yeah, it's just kind of, it's weird, but I'm okay. I'm actually happy Undertaker isn't on the card.
Yeah, I'd rather him just come out and do a little something than have a match. But, so I guess, leading it back to, I'll say Baron Corbin beats Angle.
It's just sad.
But I would like your scenario of Cena coming out and actually doing the match.
That would be exciting. And I think that's what we need is Mania should be just like tons of like excitement and crazy stuff. That match, if it goes as planned, is just going to be a buzzkill, really.
It will be one of the
downers
worst
of the night.
matches of the night.
Exactly.
Roman Reigns versus Drew McIntyre, which really should be quite a good match.
Yeah, these two are like
unfortunately,
awesome.
Yeah, they are. McIntyre is amazing.
Yeah.
Reigns can put on some great matches. This will be his first singles match really back that I know of. And Reigns, I kind of wish this had a stipulation of make it brutal.
Because
Reigns really shines in those type of matches.
And so does fucking McIntyre.
Yeah.
Apparently, if you saw him, what he did to Dean.
Oh yeah, this would have been great as a street fight.
Why wouldn't Roman say, "Look, I'm going to avenge my fallen brother here, and I'm going to do to you what you did to him"? And he already showed. We showed backstage. Roman got his ass kicked and stuff, and it's like, just do that more.
Yeah,
just do that more.
I wish that I think that would make this. This is going to be a good match. I think that would make it a great match. But there's no way Reigns loses this.
Unfortunately.
Regardless of the fact that, he's
Roman Reigns.
He beat cancer and, he's back and has more crowd support from that. He's still Roman Reigns.
Right.
You know, his character hasn't really changed. His booking, I don't think
it changed just a little bit. Now he's Roman Reigns / Joe. So the Joe part makes him humanized, and everyone likes that.
I don't think he's humanized enough to that lose, he's going to lose in his big return. I think they're going to pick right back up where they left off, and a big win at WrestleMania is I
completely agree that he will win. However, I strongly disagree with it. Because Roman is a god, and that's not a pun. He's literally been built up to be a legendary god. He can lose this fucking match.
This will also be his first WrestleMania that he hasn't main evented in 4 years.
Right, Drew needs to fucking win this because, and here's the thing, I don't want to jump, we'll put a pin in this and we'll come back to it later because I don't want to spoil for a later match that we'll talk about, but I think this would tie in. I believe Drew and Roman are right up there in the Universal title picture.
They should be, yes.
They're orbiting around that sphere right now, and I think this is an important match. I think the outcome of it will be telling. I think Drew should win because needs to be. It could be a star-making match for him. And I think, like we said, if there was a stipulation, it would allow Roman to lose because Drew would just become the psychopath and kill him.
Yeah.
But I get it. You got to have some feel-good moments, right? And the problem is I think this is going to be so many feel-good moments.
I agree.
And this would be a great one to have. Reigns, he won't lose anything from it because he's Roman Reigns, and he can beat him later. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I think giving Drew this big win at Mania would be huge.
It would be amazing, and it would also be, it would be a good kind of downer. It wouldn't be
unpredictable.
It's not a Baron Corbin wins downer. It's like a oh my god that was fucking cool downer because yes, Roman's story it's very inspirational and everything, and I get why they will have him win this match. I totally get it, but I think he will win. Again, you know what I mean? So I think now is Drew's time.
Yeah, so...
But Roman wins.
Yep, agreed. Roman wins. No holds barred match. Triple H versus Batista. So, also, Triple H, if he loses...
Kiss my ass match. No, that would be actually so bad.
Please no. But if Triple H loses...
That's what he wants this whole time. Give me what I want. Kiss my ass.
Triple H loses...
His career. What does that mean, though, as a wrestler? Because he's a fucking...
in-ring career.
Okay, because I was going to say,
They did this exact thing with Lesnar at WrestleMania 29.
The difference is that Triple H is the boss.
Yeah.
That doesn't work.
Well, I think it means you can't wrestle anymore.
But he runs the company. This is why it doesn't make sense.
True.
It's like, oh, wow. I guess I can't wrestle anymore. Wait, I run the fucking show. I can just say that's bullshit in my wrestling.
That's true.
And that's what who knows, they might do that, but I don't think they will.
Yeah, so, just to get right into it, Triple H wins. With that stipulation on it, Triple H wins.
And Batista isn't a full-time, Triple H isn't either, but he's there.
Yeah, I think this
he's a character.
Batista's farewell match as well. They're not building it up to be that, but Batista said in interviews he wanted one last thing, a match against Triple H.
It became the kayfabe of the story. That's why
they made it the story.
But it was I still believe it wasn't really a thing. He kept saying in interviews, Triple H isn't answering my calls. I think they were working together to build it.
Yeah.
You get what I mean? It's that kayfabe 2.0 shit.
Yeah.
But, Triple H wins. Batista, does his hand wave. Now, he'll probably...
Maybe the next night on Raw he officially, he quits or whatever. I don't know.
Right.
Something, but I think...
Or gets, destroyed or something, but I don't...
Yeah.
I have no idea what they'll do. Something funny, though, because Batista's hilarious and everything. Even when he's not trying to be funny, he is fucking hilarious.
Yeah.
So, I think this one is an obvious one.
Yeah, this is one of the most obvious. I just hope it's a good match, and I just have this...
What if Batista wins and, they do a whole SummerSlam build and it's, so lame and, it just drags forever? Can you imagine that? I'm just saying because this is the most obvious one
that they could just go the complete opposite.
Yeah, I'm just keeping in mind the 5 years I've watched WWE, what they do. Seems
you
like
never
something.
Know. Yeah,
seems like.
I just hope it's a good match because as much as I love Triple H and Batista, it might not be the best match. But with it being no holds barred, as long as they kill each other, it should be entertaining.
Yeah, there'll be a sledgehammer. There'll be some
steel
stuff.
Steps, that Batista bomb on the
Hopefully
steps.
there's something that... Hopefully it's like a song. Hopefully there's a hook, and it's not just a boring ass... There needs to be something that's hooking you in. And for me, it's just to see how goofy Batista is, because he's a goofy motherfucker now.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is. He's just funny all the time.
Yeah.
So hopefully it's entertaining.
All right, now we are in to our big three.
Oh, yes.
The Universal title, Brock Lesnar defending against the winner of the Royal Rumble, Seth Rollins.
All right, so we have to talk about these three matches kind of at the same time in a way.
Yeah, well...
Just because their out endings kind of dictate... Because here's what we were talking about was, these are three stories where I personally think all the faces need to win, and it be a cathartic, like, super mania, because... You know, we've had some manias the past few where it's just down, not super
where it's been
heel endings.
Last year was a heel ending with Brock Lesnar winning. That was
so
bad.
But
then there have been years where faces won, but you didn't feel at the end like, because there can be a great wrestling show, but if at that very end, it doesn't leave you feeling like real
satisfied.
You don't look back on it the same way.
Right.
Where WrestleMania 30, it was a great show already, but because of that ending, you will always look back at it as an amazing show.
It's okay to have the most obvious ending.
Predictable.
Imagine if the end of Lord of the Rings, they get to Mount Doom, and then Frodo just walks away with the ring and becomes that would suck, right? Well, that's what WWE does sometimes with big stories, and it's one of those things where it's like the difference is obviously then you go on and there's new stories to make with that character. But my problem is it's like these three matches, to bring it back to the Universal title though, of the three, if the face was going to fail, this is the one because Brock fucking Lesnar. And that's literally all I can say.
Yeah, if one of them has to lose.
I think Seth will win, but there's that in the back of my mind that's like Brock will win.
So on the Universal thing, I think Seth will win. But yeah, it's so easy that Brock could just win. Because think back to last year's WrestleMania. Everybody was dead. For sure Roman was winning. Well, and he lost.
Here's the only reason I could see Brock winning is because Roman's back and it leads to Roman and Brock at SummerSlam.
But wouldn't it be so much better?
This is what
Seth
I was going to say.
And then you've got so many challengers.
Like I said, the thing taking it back to Corbin, or not Corbin, oh my God, McIntyre. and Reigns. So I think personally you have Seth retain, okay?
So win it, right?
Sorry, yeah, win it. Become the champion, okay? That's step one, all right? Drew needs to win his match against Reigns, okay? It's because now you have an easy thing, okay, where those three, Brock's out of the picture now, okay? And now you have this easy thing where those three are at the top of the Universal Championship division, and you have those three guys fighting for it. So Seth's first thing could be against Drew, and then Drew could take it off of Seth, and then now you can have Roman versus Drew for the title because they want to put the title back on Roman, probably.
But that way you give it some time to get there, you know?
And it just makes so much sense. And then Drew gets a nice reign as a heel, and then you can do some cool shit with that. And I don't know, I'd hate to see Seth just lose the title really fast.
I think he should have but the other thing is, I think Seth wins, and then obviously it's going to get back to Roman.
It will.
So I think...
But will it be a Seth versus Roman story?
If Seth wins, obviously this sucks leaving Drew out here and not actually winning. He could feud with Seth and maybe he wouldn't win, but Seth versus Roman at SummerSlam seems like a no-brainer.
I guess so, but face versus face, just straight up. Like
Don't get me wrong.
You're my Shield brother.
I'm saying what I think they're going to do, not what I want. I would love Drew to win the title over the Summer or something from Seth.
The thing
I just think Seth versus Roman, that feels like a SummerSlam match they might do.
Or what about a Mania match?
Yeah, but they don't always book that long term, But
they should be, is what I'm saying.
And maybe they will.
I think that would be cooler, But you're probably right. But I think tying in the McIntyre versus Reigns thing, if McIntyre wins at Mania against Reigns, it builds him up to be a contender. A stronger contender too against Seth.
Yeah, he's got a reason. He's
even if he does just lose the feud.
Yeah, and as far as Universal title, you've got those three. You could also throw Braun back in there, who really could use to be.
He needs built back up,
and then I'm sure there's probably 2 or 3 other guys on Raw who could easily just enter the Universal title scene. And then you've got a really strong group of contenders there.
Yeah, so Seth definitely.
He should. He needs to. And I'm gonna predict.
Hard to say.
I'm gonna go with my heart that
Seth.
I think Seth wins.
I agree.
I would not be surprised at all to see Lesnar win.
Yeah, for me, it's like it's not a 99% chance that Seth wins. It's like a 55%. You know what I mean? Like it's sad
because before Reigns came back, honestly, I would have said almost 90%.
Yeah, like guess we find out.
Yeah. Okay, the WWE Championship. Kofi Kingston challenging Daniel Bryan. This match.
This is the big one
This is
for me.
my most hyped match.
It's
the
got
story, and the thing is, from Royal Rumble, you could kind of like if you go back to Royal Rumble, you're thinking ahead what the matches are going to be at WrestleMania, and no one would have guessed that it was going to be Kofi versus Bryan.
Hell no.
But this is an example of WWE actually doing the right thing with fan reaction and not just going against them and saying, this is what we're doing it anyways. They actually went with
doing it in a timely manner.
Yeah, they didn't wait months from now when it was too late and people didn't care as much. They are actually capitalizing, so props for that. But this match, the build has been great.
It's been insanely good.
And the match is...
Kofi is amazing,
so
but I have to give huge fucking props to Daniel Bryan being basically the greatest heel of all time.
Yeah.
Like, he is absolutely my favorite. And here's the thing. I actually, before the Kofi stuff started, I just was like, this is fun. Like, I don't really hate this guy at all. Like, he's not annoying to me. Like, I know a lot of other, like, I just thought he was a fun character. The title was funny. I was like, he's a great talker. I'm entertained. But once the stuff with Kofi started, I legitimately dislike Daniel Bryan's character now.
Because you've got a guy to root behind with Kofi.
Right. Once you put him in a real story, it's like
before nothing
magic.
Against AJ, but I like Bryan more than AJ.
And it wasn't really AJ couldn't go toe to toe with him at all, and there wasn't really a reasoning for it. It was just like, but this it's like a visceral hatred of like I'm like I want to see Bryan get what's coming to. It's like his promos. He's like so right but so wrong at the same time that it's like you just can't help but just be like, dude, just shut up. Like I want to just see Kofi. You in that last segment with Kofi, you wanted to see Kofi just explode and freak out and just start yelling at Bryan. But Kofi's whole thing is that he doesn't do that. He just puts his shoulder to the grindstone and is like, I'm just gonna prove you wrong. Like obviously you're ignorant. Like, this is, to me, the true main... Like, I love that the women are main eventing, but the problem was that a lot of the... this one just got hot, and it was so close to the Mania, they didn't have to try to drag it out. So it's just so organically hyped. And
Which is incredible, because
it's nuts.
Doesn't seem to happen too often. So
this is rare, and that's why I think all these things are making this Mania, like, almost, like, too good to be true.
Yeah, I mean, these top three matches are...
Crazy,
very, very good,
exciting.
Good builds and
I'm too excited. It's making me nervous. You know what I mean?
Like something's gonna go wrong here.
So,
but Kofi versus Bryan. I mean, it's got to be Kofi, right?
This is one I am absolutely positive Kofi wins.
It's got to be. You can't.
Absolutely.
You cannot.
Also,
because
it's another Booker T situation.
If Kofi doesn't win, I honestly think the crowd will shit on the rest of the. Because who knows where this will be on the show.
I can't even fathom
I think the crowd will just... Because Kofi is the one that people want the most.
I don't think Daniel Bryan would agree as a human being.
With the way they built this up, they're not going to do WrestleMania 19 with Booker T again. Because there have been, it's obviously... There's racial...
subtext.
That's what is...
It's just below the surface.
A guy that's...
It's insanely incredible.
Without strictly saying it, that's what... the story kind of is here with Vince and Kofi.
I cannot believe how well they're doing it.
Yeah, so they need to have
I can't believe
Kofi win.
Yeah, and that's the thing is I just don't see anyone involved agreeing to doing that ending. Yeah. I don't. I see them saying we will not do that. Like I'm sorry, Vince, because that would be what it would be is Vince wakes up and it's like heat or like just wants to shake things up. This is the one though of all of them of all the faces.
I agree.
This is the one that you
has. The other two could not change or could not be the favorites. But Kofi, they have to do it now for several reasons, like we've mentioned.
It would be I would actually get up, walk out of the house, and walk into the street if Kofi lost.
Yeah, and that's...
Literally, I don't know what else to say. Like, that's how bad
and I mean, that's saying a lot, because Bryan is, both of us, is probably our favorites.
Wrestler.
Yeah, I mean...
Favorite wrestler, favorite on the mic.
Especially right now, he's doing his best
work in WWE.
WWE.
This has nothing to do with my personal favorite characters. It has everything to do with telling the best story.
Yeah.
And in this case, like, wrestling is storytelling. It's mythology. It's all these different things. It's a weird art form. This would be like just taking a beautiful story and literally shitting on it. I don't know how
written so well up to this point, and you have to have
that ending.
The ending, which is
it's like WrestleMania 30 with Bryan just losing like in a really bad way. It would be so bad.
And like, another great thing about the story between the two is obviously
the parallel
to WrestleMania 30. It's Bryan now becoming everything that he fought against.
And I don't even know if they are aware of all the reasons why it works. I think there are of certain things, but I think they just lucked into it, and it's like beautiful how good it is. But yeah, Kofi has to fucking win this match. And my thing is like, you have this obvious thing where Rowan gets involved, but the New Day are there.
Yep.
So it's perfect. It's like the New Day and it's like equalizers, and it'll be. The match will be amazing because I can already imagine some of the stuff they're gonna do with like
they're both amazing.
The outside, because main event WWE main event style booking and matches is like some of the best stuff ever because they actually try.
Yeah.
And it's not phoned in, but like just imagining some of the stuff they're gonna do with the interference and stuff. It's like gonna be really good as long as Kofi wins. Yeah, and that's my prediction. Kofi wins, and actually kind of works because the title's like it's colorful now.
Yeah,
it's a hemp belt, and he was Jamaican for like a month or a year or whatever. So it's like he won't look complete. He'll probably need to get a new bring in a new title.
They probably will.
But I'm just saying it won't look absolutely horrible. Him holding that title.
Yeah.
What they should do is just have New Day bring out a trash can, and he throws that in the trash, and like they bring out like a new thing. But like we'll see what they do. It's exciting though. So
yeah. And last but not least, the main event. For the first time ever, the women get in the main event slot.
Triple threat.
Ronda Rousey, Raw Women's Champion. Charlotte Flair, SmackDown Women's Champion against Becky Lynch. Triple threat, winner takes all. So, first of all, I personally would have been perfectly fine with this being just for the Raw Women's title. The SmackDown Women's title not being involved and Asuka defending that separately. But here we are. It's for both.
Yeah.
I feel it was unnecessary, but I get that they want it to just be as massive and as big a deal as they can.
I feel I think that they felt this horrible, like, nagging thing to have to somehow and this is mishandled is the best thing I can say about this feud, because it should, for all intents and purposes, it should be the hottest angle. There just were so many missteps and stuff, and it's gotten back on track very recently. But like you said, that's one of the things.
Just unnecessary.
They just felt the need. I think they were like, "Is it big enough? Does it deserve this? We just got to make it bigger. What can we do? Throw Charlotte in there. Make Becky like an underdog. Throw another title. Like, it's just like, how much can we do to overdo it? This would have been fan-fucking-tastic. Ronda versus Becky, and it would have been fucking fine, and it could have been literally it could have just been that, and it would have been great.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna, but this is what we have, and I think it's great too.
The match is gonna be really, really good.
It will be insane.
I'll say this. I think if it were Ronda versus Becky one-on-one, the match story and build would have been better.
Yeah.
The build and the story.
But the action
with Charlotte in there, the match is gonna be better because honestly, of the three, when I really think about it,
she's the best.
I think Charlotte's the best.
Well, and she's also the most exciting. She's the most exciting.
She really is.
Yeah.
And I was thinking about that. I was like,
has nothing to do
being
with,
in there is going to actually make this a better match. Maybe not from story perspective, and everybody loves the one-on-one, especially for a main event.
For Mania, too.
You want a one-on-one, but
we've already got
I've come to terms with Charlotte being in it is going to actually make it better in ring.
No, it will, because Becky's style is not flashy. It's very old school. It's like she does she's like rough around the edges.
Yeah, she's awesome.
But that's her style. She's like a brawler,
and neither's Ronda, obviously. So
it would almost be like the problem is without Charlotte, it's kind of like just a shitty MMA match that isn't real good. So I totally see. There's like 5 reasons why they put Charlotte in there, and all that matters is that it's gonna make the match better. I'm not really here to criticize all the missteps, because it will take a year, to get through.
That said, there have been some really, really good parts of this feud.
Oh, yeah. Just recently
overall,
they
the fact
fixed a
that
lot,
it's
yeah.
long-term storytelling.
Yes,
they don't. Yeah. This has been going back since SummerSlam.
Pushing the ladders to.
Well, I was going to say with Charlotte and Becky first.
That's true, yeah.
But then, yeah,
bringing Ronda
Survivor
into the
Series,
fold, yeah.
then TLC, and the Raw. They've actually done this really well. And this past segment on Raw was amazing. With the cop cars.
It was so insane. It
felt like Attitude Era. It really was good.
Sometimes just chaos and violence is
that was like the best part of the build to this. It was
and it happened right at the very tail end, you know, like because I was so scared there while Becky was limping around that this was going to carry all the way to Mania, and that she was going to be this baby face who was like, you know, that's not the man. The character of the man is not an underdog.
That's why people love Becky. That's why we're like, we want to see you win, not because she's hobbling around, but because she's just a badass.
That's the only bad thing I'm going to complain about now is that the characters, it's convoluted because you had a clear bad guy, good guy, tweener, and then they turned, you know, like they turned Ronda, and then why is Charlotte still around when now Ronda's just a straight up heel? It's convoluted. It's weird. You know, it's just kind of confusing, you know. But it doesn't matter because that last segment kind of poetically summed up the whole feud. Yeah. Chaos. Yeah. They all just want to win. They all just want to kill each other. Yeah. And that's fine. Like, so by doing that, you basically just made sense of the whole feud. It's dumb that they took Asuka's title.
Yeah. That was unnecessary.
She was a sacrificial lamb at the altar of this match. And it was unnecessary, as you said. Your whole thing was, it's unnecessary. I agree completely.
Because the match is going to be this exact same, except now it makes...
In fact...
The thing is, and another thought is...
The only reason...
This is going to be, a great moment.
But then the woman has 2 titles, and like,
where
what
do you go from there? You know? Like...
And my thing, too, is I thought the only reason they did this was because, and this is my prediction, I thought Charlotte would have the Smackdown title and hold it, and it wouldn't be on the line. And then Becky would win the match. That's my prediction, is that Becky will win. And then now you have all the 4 horsewomen holding titles, with gold at the end of the show. But now it's for both titles.
So whoever wins.
So now that's not the case. So
like, as far as my prediction yet, I agree that Becky's going to win. It's got to close out with Becky, the man
winning
with both titles. You know, that's how WrestleMania's got to end.
But can you just imagine Charlotte holding both those titles?
I can see it though. You know?
Like that's what I think I almost think they would do something like that. It's once again, it's like the Brock Lesnar. I've said that like 4 times throughout this video that it's just I could see WWE I could see like them frothing at the mouth because Charlotte is so decorated. Her being the first. Not unified. I don't think they're necessarily unified.
Yeah, I hope they are not unifying.
Being undisputed, like I'm the woman's champion, and I'm gonna go to both brands, and like she'll eventually lose one on one brand, but like float for a while. I just don't see them like the thing is. I think WWE even they know just how huge Becky is right now as far as popularity goes, and Charlotte is always gonna be. She is the Roman Reigns of the women, you know, like honestly, she's not going anywhere. She can lose a lot and it won't harm them, you know, like, so Becky has to win this. It's another thing like Kofi, but not as bad. Like I don't think the world would end. Yeah. It would just be like, it would shake and there would be much.
It would have an impact because it's the very end of WrestleMania. If Becky didn't win, you'd be kind of like,
it's another heel ending, which we talked about. Yeah. You know, those heel endings you're just kind of like,
But overall, as far as these 3, I mean, I don't think there's anything wrong with having 3 big face-happy victories.
Just don't put them all on the card. They won't all be on the card one after the other. They'll be spread out, like one in the middle, one at the beginning, or one at the beginning, one in the middle, one at the end. And
they could open with Kofi and Bryan.
Exactly, and now the crowd is like just ready. They're like so hyped, you know. Like that'd be fantastic.
I wouldn't mind that one bit. You know, just start it off.
Celebration right at the beginning. You know, that's my problem though. Is like in my head, I'm still seeing Kofi versus Bryan as the true main event. Yeah. It's like the co-main event, you know, like is what they would say about the women. So we might as well say it for the guys too. Yeah. But I think my overall feeling is that this is going to be like. Even if they bungle some things, they can't bungle enough to ruin this show.
Yeah, I mean, just us going over the card here, it really has the makings to be one of the best Manias in a long time. Yeah. Like, the top matches are all well built. They should be really good matches.
Mm-hmm.
I'm invested. It's not just thrown together kind of crap, you know. It's stuff that you actually want to see.
Some of it's thrown together crap, but most of it, I'd
well,
say
of the main one.
The main ones.
That's
for
what
sure.
I mean. The main ones.
Sure, yeah.
Some of it is definitely thrown together.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
but the main three,
they're
are really solid, and you've got a good upper card. You know,
they don't feel because some of the problems in the past was like they would force things, like with Roman, you know, and it's not Roman's fault, but I'm just saying like these matches though are organic. Like Seth coming for the Beast has been a thing in the works for years. It's all this long-term stuff.
Yeah.
Kofi's payoff for an 11-year career.
Something you never thought you'd actually see,
and tying in with Bryan, like coming full circle as a heel now, and then obviously the women's triple threat, you know,
getting the chance to actually main event, and it being a fitting main event. It's not a forced, here's the women main eventing. It makes sense to be the closer, for sure. So
very organic, awesome card, and I think it's going to be legit.
Yeah, and you know, some of those lower card matches one of those
Surprise,
they could steal the show. I mean, who knows? Styles and Orton could steal the whole show, or Batista and Triple H could be a complete shocker and steal the show. You never know. So yeah, I'm really excited for this WrestleMania. Overall, everything we've talked about, like we said, I think it could be one of the best, and I'm pumped. It was, you know, great to sit down and kind of go over the predictions. Some of them are kind of hard to predict, but
yeah, that was my problem.
But it's always fun to try and guess something. So yeah, thanks for joining me here to go over these predictions, and
we'll see you at Mania.
Yeah, Kofi Mania, baby.